Good afternoon. You live on Kasi TV, and this is Weekly Retro with me, Salin and Ikuya. Abuajori streaming to you live from our studios inside Osu Reverend Richard Street. You can join us on our social media handles on Facebook and YouTube at Kasi Television. Now, coming up, the central regional town of British Commander has been thrown into a state of mourning following the drowning of 4 teenagers at the beach on Saturday, October 2. Bring you details of that story as the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, and the National Teachers Council have held Ghana Teacher Prize as part of the 2021 World Teachers Day. And on an international front, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, who led last month's coup in Guinea, was sworn in as interim president on Friday, promising to respect all the West African states' international commitment. Bring you details in the latest in sports, entertainment, business, and international right after this. Please be my guest. Thanks for staying, and out to the main bulletin. The Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, and the National Teachers Council have held Ghana Teacher Prize as part of the 2021 World Teachers Day. The event was held in Sunyani in the Bunu region under the theme Teachers Wanted, Reclaiming Teaching and Learning for Human-Centered Recovery. Now, speaking in an interview with Kasi TV, the president of the National Union of Private Schools in Ghana, Reverend William Bako, pleaded on the government to include them in their affairs. Hence, they also play a major role in the education sector. There is more in the following reports. The Ghana National Association of Teachers on Tuesday launched the 2021 NAT Week and the World Teachers Day celebration in Sunyani in the Bunu region. Teachers in the country joined their counterparts around the world to commemorate the day, which falls on October 5, 2021. The NAT Week, which was observed prior to the commemoration of the day, was used to sensitize the public to the plight of teachers in the discharge of their duties. The association presented some assorted items, including 100 life jackets and 10 solar panels to teachers, pupils, and students living on islands in the Volta Lake in the Sini East and Sini West districts in the Bunu East region. The president of the National Union of Private Schools in Ghana, Reverend William Bako, in an interview expressed worry on how private school teachers are sidelined when giving prizes to teachers in Ghana. He pleaded on government to include them in their affairs, hence they also play a major role in the education sector.
It was okay, just that the private schools were being deprived from participating in the event. Always, we used to say that looking at the performance of the private schools in Ghana, things like this, private schools should be part of it. When NTC lined the Best Teachers Award, we're saying that they should involve the private schools, because when it comes to performance, it is the private schools that make name for the nation. But we pray that in the subsequent years, they should involve the private schools in such events.
Reverend William appealed for more government and public support to enable members of the private schools discharge their responsibilities efficiently. And away from that story, the central regional town of British Commander has been thrown into a state of mourning following the drowning of 4 teenagers at the beach on Saturday, October 2. Now, 6 children went swimming at where community leaders say it's an unauthorized place, a place where their sea gods rest. 2 of them who were rescued have been treated and discharged. Now, the Central Regional Police Command has begun investigation into the incident. Regional Police Commander DCOP Kojo Enchi Tabi, who visited the scene of the incident, indicated that 2 bodies were washed ashore that very day on Saturday. One was washed ashore on Sunday, while the remaining body was retrieved early Monday morning. The COP entry said a lot more education ought to be done on the COVID-19 restrictions to get the people informed. Now, Chief Fisherman of British Commander Nana Kojo Imbia II stated that where the children went swimming is a prohibited part of the beach, a place even the elders hardly go there except they are going to perform rituals. He further explained that necessary rituals would be performed to prevent a recurrence. Meanwhile, the bodies of the 4 persons have been deposited at the morgue of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, while the 2 who survived have been reunited with their families.
4 of them got drowned. Yes, out of the 4, 2 were the bodies of 2 of them were retrieved that very Saturday, and then 1 was retrieved yesterday, washed ashore, and then the last one was also washed ashore today. Just before we came here, they are all students. One of them is 20 years. The remaining seems to be under 18 years. One is 15, 2 are 12 years, and then 1 is 19. 12 and 13, yes. 1 is 13, 1 is 12, 1 is 15, and then the oldest is 20 years.
Now, on LGBT, a bill currently before Parliament which seeks to criminalize and impose jail terms on lesbianism, gays, bisexuals, transgender and queer, and people who promote such activities in the country has been described as flagrant violation of the 1992 Constitution. It seeks to curtail freedom of expression and the media, the rights of assembly and the right to join any association of one's choice. Currently, a group made up of academics, lawyers, researchers, civil societies, and human activists have kicked against this law. Now, let's see how the story goes. A group made up of academics, lawyers, researchers, civil society organizations, and human rights activists has kicked against the LGBTQ+ bill. According to the group, the bill promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values, when passed into law, would erode fundamental human rights as enshrined in the 1992 Constitution and send Ghana to the dark ages of lawlessness and intolerance. The group, made up of 18 members, has already submitted a 30-page memorandum to Parliament detailing what it described as unconstitutionality of the bill. At a press conference in Accra, the group said its advocacy was not about whether lesbianism or gayism was right or wrong, but rather it was worried about the blatant violations of human rights as contained in the bill.
On the grounds of gender, race, ethnic origin, religion, creed, or social or economic status. These rights are at the very heart of our constitutional architecture. It is indisputable that without these rights, Ghana's democracy would be meaningless.
It has therefore called on Parliament to reject the bill, adding that it has no place in our constitutional democratic republic. The group include lawyer Mr. Akoto Ampao, author, scholar, and former director of the UN Economic Commission for Africa, Professor Emerita Techua, a communications and media expert, Professor Kwame Karikari, the Dean of the University of Ghana School of Law, among others. According to the group, the fact that some religious groups found the activities of the LGBTQ+ persons offensive did not mean such persons had no rights or should not be protected by the 1992 Constitution and other laws of the land. Also, it said the bill sought to demonize LGBTQ+ as pedophiles, but record shows that most people in the country who abuse children were heterosexuals.
We urge that the bill, with respect, be firmly rejected by the Parliamentary Select Committee on Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs and by Parliament as a whole. It has no place in our constitutional democratic republic.
Meanwhile, the Christ Apostolic Church International have presented a petition to promote the bill, stating that it's an insult to God's intelligence to reject the bill. let's do some COVID-19 stories. And active cases of COVID-19 in Ghana have dropped to 2,967. The latest figures from the Ghana Health Service has indicated. That toll, however, rose to 1,157. Of the active cases, 45 are critical, while 121 are severe. Since mid-March 2020, Ghana has recorded a total of 128,026 cases of the pandemic. Of that number, 123,902 have recovered. Meanwhile, a total of 2,025,183 vaccine doses have been administered to Ghana so far against the pandemic, according to the Ghana Health Service. Now, out of these figures, 1,369,515 constitutes the first dose of the AstraZeneca, Sputnik V, Johnson & Johnson and Moderna vaccines. Also, 1,190,564 constitute the first dose of AstraZeneca and Sputnik V vaccines. Additionally, 7,291 doses of Moderna have been administered at the first dose. Out of the total figures, 662,959 comprise the second dose of AstraZeneca and Sputnik V. So far, the total of people who have been fully vaccinated is 820,037 for all the vaccines. Meanwhile, Denmark, Iceland, Norway and Germany have provided 530,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines to Ghana. The 530,000 doses of AstraZeneca's Covishield vaccine from the four governments of Denmark, Iceland, Norway and Germany has arrived in Accra via the COVAX facility. Now, with this donation, the four governments jointly will be supporting Ghana's vaccination efforts to reach 20 million adult citizens by the end of 2021. Germany alone has so far provided Ghana with approximately 1.9 million doses of vaccines, which are currently being rolled out or under preparation for the nationwide vaccine. Now, a press statement dated October 5 issued by the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany in Accra said Germany's share of the upcoming delivery is 386,400 doses, bringing the number of vaccines Germany has made available to Ghana to almost 2.3 million. In total, Germany's bilateral support to Ghana amounts to a value of more than 25 million euros. COVAX is helping to vaccinate people nationwide. The only way to prevent the risks of constant new mutations of the virus. Nobody is safe until everybody is safe. And away from COVID-19, President Akufo-Addo on Tuesday, October 5, commissioned Grace Company Limited, now a garment manufacturing company operating on a government One District, One Factory initiative. The company specializes in production of utility clothing, uniforms for security forces, hospital scraps, uniform for hotels, uniforms for schools, and production of standardized uniforms. Equipped with 600 industrial machines and with the support from the Ministry of Trade and Industry and Ghana Exim Bank, the company was able to export 20,000 and 80,000 units per month in 2019 and 2020 respectively of hospital scraps and uniforms for chefs to the United States. The company commenced operation in 2003 and the government of former President John Agyekum Kufuor. However, its operations went down upon the exit of President Kufuor-led government. In 2017, the company applied for support and the One District, One Factory initiative and has since been its operations reinstated. President Akufo-Addo commended the management of the company and indeed other garment and textile factories in the country for the support extended to the government in the fight against the COVID-19 by domestically manufacturing personal protective equipment for use by frontline health workers and other professionals. the Minister of Communications, Oslo Usu Ekufo, has inaugurated the board of the National Communications Authority at a short ceremony in Accra on Monday. The board is made up of Mr. Isaac Emil Osei-Bonsu as the chairman, Mr. Joe Anoche, Mr. Kwabena Edubwahi, Mr. Alexander Banaman, Honorable Amapuma Boatin, Mr. Patrick A. Boatin, Dr. Eugene Owusu, and Madam Ama A.S. Daku as members. Speaking at the ceremony, the minister charged the board to regulate the communication industry in a forward-looking and transparent manner that promotes fair and sustainable competition to benefit the citizenry. She also urged them to work together to ensure the NCA is strategically steered in a direction that facilitates the achievement of its goal. On behalf of the board, Mr. Isaac Emil Osei-Bonsu expressed appreciation to President Nana Akufo-Addo for the appointment and gave the assurance that the channel will see the application of fair, consistent, and forward-looking regulations. He was confident that through collaboration with all stakeholders, they would succeed and achieve their goals through prudent, proactive, and progressive regulations of the industry. Now let's move to the Ashanti region, and 3 workers of the Joabin Oil Mills Limited have been confirmed dead in the Ashanti region. Authorities say Tuesday's incident occurred following what they say is a mechanical failure in one of the facility's boilers. The supply chain manager Nana Yao Srebo said this resulted in the steam coming out to engulf people who were working beneath. In total, 6 employees were involved in the accident. 3 persons, including 2 students of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, were involved in the accident. The deceased KNUST students were on an industrial attachment at the mills. Now, Joabin District Police Commander DSP Broni Hunu confirmed the incident. While the specific cause is unclear, Mr. Yao Srebo explained that for the past 40 years that the company has been in operation, nothing of this nature has ever happened. However, the company says it will investigate the circumstances surrounding the incident to ensure that it does not occur in the future. The Joabin Oil Mill has been suspended operations at the facility. And the Metropolitan Chief Executive MCE nominee for the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Elizabeth Kwaucho Saki, has been fully confirmed by the Assembly members to become the first female AMA mayor. Her confirmation was done on Thursday, October 7, at the AMA office. 33 Assembly members of the AMA voted yes to confirm her nomination for the position. Madam Elizabeth Saki's name was on the list of Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executive released by the Minister for Local Government, Dan Boche, on Sunday, September 19, 2021. However, prior to the list being made public, some NPP youths in the Odododio constituency of the Greater Accra region staged a demonstration on Saturday, September 18, 2021 to express their displeasure. The Ghana Police Service subsequently arrested 4 leaders of the demonstration. The outgoing MCE of Accra, Mohammed Ajay Sowa, later condemned the said demonstration. Elizabeth Saki was a former MP for Okaiko North on the ticket of the NPP. She hails from Asari Accra in the Greater Accra region and was born on May 6, 1958. She holds a certificate in marketing, which she obtained in 2003. She worked with the Ghana Commercial Bank as chief clerk before becoming an MP.
Honorable Assembly members of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, they will enter with a joyful sound in anticipation.
Now let's do some business news. And some parts of Accra are expected to experience power outages from October 5 to December 5, 2021. The Ghana Great Company Limited says this has become necessary to enable them to execute planned tax works within Achimota Malam corridors for the decommission and replacement of existing lines with new higher capacity conductors. In a letter requesting the Electricity Company of Ghana's implementation of the move, Gridco indicated that it has become crucial to transfer as much load as possible to Pokuase, Achimota, Accra East and Tema in order to limit loading at Malam and Accra Central substations. Now, the areas to be affected have been categorized into Groups A, B, and C. Group A comprises Adabraka, Old Timers, Mamprobi, Choko, Agege, Letabio Kwashi, Valco Trust, Teachers Hall, among others. And in Group B are Polo Theatre, Salom Down, Adabraka Market, Kole Gono, Sukura, Mamprobi Polyclinic, Jamestown, Mataheko, and etc. And Group C also includes Central Police Station, Cocoa Board, Kingsway, Abose Okai, Choko, Apia Dankwa, Graphic Press House, Senate, among others. And the Registrar General's Department will begin the processes to delist 3,100 companies from the records of companies from this month. The first 3,100 is part of more than 100,000 names that have been embarked by the department to be listed by the close of the year. The move follows failure by these firms to update their records and file annual returns as mandated by law. According to the department in a press statement copied, the exercise has become necessary after 3 months validation period elapsed. Now, the statement also noted that over 257,241 companies existing in the database have not filed their returns or amendments with the department since 2011, whilst 670,282 companies in the legacy system had not carried out any update of their data dubbed re-registration as of March 2020. And the department used the opportunity to call on all businesses, whether in operation or not, to take measures to regularize their operations and update their records to avoid being delisted.
So most people registered initially just for the sake of registering a company, maybe just for maybe a visa or a contract, and didn't really understand what it is to have a company and the serious implications it comes up with. So once they got the contract or they didn't get the contract, they didn't bother. So it's been sitting on our database for over 8 years. They've never filed any returns, and it's just sitting there and taking up space. So we want to be able to know viable companies that are doing business in Ghana. That's why we're going around this exercise. So
And the Finance Ministry has dismissed speculations on social media platforms that the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has resigned. In a statement, it said there is no truth in a rumor. Now, this communique was issued by the Ministry on Tuesday, October 5, 2021. Earlier this year, the Sector Minister traveled to the U.S. for medical attention from completion and complications of COVID-19 virus. Mr. Ofori-Atta subsequently returned for parliamentary vetting for a second spell as a minister after Nana Akufo-Addo retained power in 2020 general elections. And the Bank of Ghana is reminding consumers that the issuance of that checks to attract fine on imprisonment up to 5 years. It's therefore urging customers to have enough funds in their accounts before issuing a check. In a statement on financial literacy education on that checks, the central bank said consumers who issue checks for the first time will be warned by their financial institution, whilst their offense is reported to the Credit Reference Bureau. Again, if you issue a DAT check for the second time within 3 years of the first offense, your financial institution reports your conduct to the bank, adding. Now, the central bank further warned that anyone who issued a debt check for the third time in 3 years will be banned from issuing checks within the country for a minimum period of 3 years. Also, the affected customers will be banned from accessing new credit facilities from all financial institutions for a period of 3 years. Additionally, the customer's name will be published in 2 daily newspapers of the national circulations. Now let's do some sports news. And Ghana President Nana Akufo-Addo has commissioned a new AstroTurf worth 3 million Ghana cedis at Bantama in the Ashanti region. Now the president defied a heavy downpour to inaugurate the multi-purpose facility on Sunday. After performing the ceremonial kickoff, the president unveiled a plug M's chairs from a packed stadium. The minimum stadium constructed by Wembley Sports Complex Company has a normal football pitch, stands, floodlights and a changing room. The artificial pitch was the initiative of the Member of Parliament for the area, Mr. Asensu Bwache, with the support from the National Lottery Authority. Former Black Star players including former Skypers Akwesi Apia and Stephen Apia, Frimpong Manso, Emmanuel Ama, Sami Ejay, Derek Boateng, Laye Kinson, Prince Opoku Pole and some budding talents showed the crowd and crowd in exhibition match. And the Black Stars have arrived in Cape Coast for this evening's FIFA World Cup Quarter 2020 qualifier against Zimbabwe. The team departed from Accra around 9:30 a.m. and arrived in the Central Region capital at midday. Ghana is seeking to get back to winning ways following the 1-0 lose to South Africa in the second Group G game. The Black Stars, who began the World Cup qualifying campaign with a 1-0 win over Ethiopia on match day 1, sits second in Group G with 3 points after 2 rounds of matches. Ghana is scheduled to play the Warriors of Zimbabwe in a double-header with the first leg set for the Cape Coast Stadium today, October 9, 2021.
Be proud to be part of this setup. Be proud because you're representing your country. The only way we can do this is to do this together.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Now let's do some entertainment news. And veteran gospel musician and evangelist Reverend Mark Abraham has narrated how a colleague gospel artist tried to assassinate him spiritually after taking his picture to a juju man. Reverend Mark Abraham revealed that the gospel musician, whose name he did not reveal in an interview, said he wanted him dead because his songs were selling more than theirs in the market, and this incident happened a decade ago. Mark Abraham explained that his colleague musician told him he visited a shrine in the Bunuahaf region for certain reasons. Now the friend musician saw Mark Abraham's picture on the floor, so he asked the juju man why he had the photo in possession, but the fetish priest answered that Mark Abraham's colleague musician has brought the picture from me, that's the plan to kill him because his songs are making impact on airwaves, thus people are not buying his songs, he stated in an interview.
The music industry now, your music industry and the reality on the ground. They say, "Baby, gospel." I'm talking about gospel music industry. Baby, in February, hey, I made me more be but the fact of the matter, Obi, I will not have. I know, friend, Mr. Papa, my better so photo, Edaha, me busa Papa na koda, or see Obi na dewaba.
Hey.
Many occasions. Many occasions. Mama Tiase.
Hey.
I am kicking and still going on.
Now, on our international front, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, who led the last month's coup in Guinea, was sworn in as interim president on Friday, promising to respect all the West African state international commitments. Doumbouya, who led the overthrow of President Alpha Conde on September 5, was sworn in by Supreme Court head Mamadou Celia for a transition period of unspecified length. The new interim president spoke of his commitment that neither he nor any member of the junta would stand in any future election that the military have promised to organize after a transition period. His administration's mission is to refound the state, he said, by drafting a new constitution fighting corruption, reforming the electoral system, and then organizing free, credible, and transparent elections. He once again said nothing at the time of his swearing about how long he will remain the interim leader. However, the president will be barred from being a candidate at an election that will take place after the transition, it says. The turbulence in a former French colony has sparked deep concern among Guinea's neighbors. Now, the coup is the second to take place in the region after Mali in less than 13 months. The region's bloc, the Economic Community of West African States, is demanding that elections be held within 6 months, as well as Conde's release. And that will be all for this week's edition on Weekly Retro. For more news updates, you can log on to our social media handles on Facebook and YouTube at Cassie Television. A very big thank you and a happy birthday goes to my producer, Joe Cash. May God bless you for all you are doing for this station. And tonight, to my executive producer, Elder Dominic Boachi Entry, and to you who watch me as well. See you same time next week. As always, myself, stay safe and stay positive. My name has been Salina Ekuya Abuajo. Enjoy the rest of our programs. That's all.